And Friday, you guys did some practice with solving equations, which was something of a struggle. So, this is not in your binder, but kind of walk me through one. If I gave you a problem like this. So this is what we practiced Friday, trying to get us ready for this next set of problems. So if I had something like this, what would I do? Distribute the negative 7. So we have a negative 7x minus 21. All right, the biggest problem I'm seeing, when you guys are combining these, you're not moving them to the other side of the equation. So I don't have to add 7x. They're on the same side, so we just put them together. So 4x minus 7x, negative 3x. So then what would we do? So we have a negative 3x equals negative 15, and then we get x equals 5. So that's what we were practicing Friday. Today, so we are finishing the second half of Unit 4, which is linear stuff. So we're still dealing with lines, but we are going to be doing more word problems this next couple weeks. We can do them. We've got this. Okay. So, what you have to remember with these, everybody has their binder. When we are dealing with lines, the equation of a line, slope-intercept form, is y equals mx plus b. M is our slope. In terms of an equation, that is going to be a repeated value because it's going to be associated with every single x. B is our y-intercept. In terms of these equations, it will be a one-time value. Okay, so let's look at a problem and try to make sense of what I mean by that. If I said Evan is going to the county fair this weekend, the admission to the fair is $5 and the cost per ride is 50 cents. If his parents give him $20, write solve a linear equation to find how many rides he can go on. So there's really two things going on with this. First thing I have to do is write my equation. Y equals mx plus b. When I look at this, it tells me the admission is $5 and the cost per ride is 50 cents. I told you that m, your slope, is a repeated value. B, the y-intercept, is a one-time thing. Which of those fees does he have to pay more than once? The 50 cents. Since I'm doing everything in dollars, I'm going to put that as 0.5. Okay, so that's my slope because he has to pay that for every ride he goes on. It is repeated. What is his one-time fee? The admission, the $5. He has to pay that even if he doesn't go on any rides at all. So my equation, y equals mx plus b, okay, that's the second part. So, this is my equation. Now, I'm asking you to find out how many rides he can go on. And he has how much money? $20. So in this equation, the x is my number of rides. My y is my cost. So we put the 20 in for the y. going to solve. So if we subtract our 5, we divide by 0.5. So we have 15 divided by 0.5. So he can go on 30 rides. So, two things this asks for. It asks for the equation. So while you may have been able to figure out how many rides you could go on without writing an equation, because it said to write an equation, I'm expecting to see that. Okay, and then we just had to figure out which variable to plug in the 24, and we can solve from there to get the total number of rides. Any questions on that one? Let's look at another one. While visiting Crimson Lake, Sally decided to go kayaking. The rangers charged $8.50 per hour in addition to a $25 deposit to rent the kayak. So let's just stop right there. This is what we need to write the equation. We need to know M and B. M is the fee that she has to pay repeatedly. What is she paying repeatedly? $8.50. A lot of times if you look, those units kind of give it away. We had to pay that per hour, and this one it was 50 cents per ride. So those are your slopes. Okay, what did she have to pay one time? The $25 to rent the kayak. So what's my equation? Equals 850x plus 25. Alright, now it tells me if she rented the kayak from 11:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. We need to figure out the total cost. Yeah, we paid $8.50 per hour, so we need to know how many hours. So from 11:30 to 2:30 is 3 hours. That is the X. So my Y is what we have to find here. So we have the 850 times 3 plus 25. So 850 times 3 gives us 25.5, 25.50. So we get 50/50. What would our label be on this? So make sure, we wouldn't want to say just 50.5 if we're talking about money. We put the 2 decimal places. So it would cost her $50.50 to rent that for 3 hours. Okay, why don't you guys take a couple minutes, look at the next one, and see if you can set it up. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what M and B are. Your slope, that is your repeated thing. If you're looking at the units, it will always be something per something. So even if you didn't read the problem, you might be able to pick out the slope because it's the only one that has a per with it. So Alex bought a new truck for $42,935. According to the dealer, the truck will depreciate approximately $4,200 per year. Write and solve a linear equation to find how many years until the truck is worth $5,135. So what's happening to the value of the truck? It's going down. So what should be true about my slope? It's a negative 4,200. So we hadn't done a negative one yet, but it's because it's depreciating. It is losing value as time goes on. That's why our slope would be negative. The one-time cost was what? Right, the $42,935. That's what he paid for the truck. So the equation, y equals negative 4,200x plus $42,935. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we wanted to find out what how many years until the truck is worth $5,135. So is that the x or the y that I'm giving you? I'm giving you the y. We're looking, the years is the x. So my y is 5,135 equals negative 4,200x plus 42,935. All right, so if we subtract this over, we divide by negative 4,200, what do we get for x? Hmm? 9. And what is that measured in?
Years.
If you look, your slope can tell you a lot. The slope is always one with the per. The unit after that is your x, so my x was years here. The one before, my x was my hours. The one before, my x was my number of rides. So your slope gives you a lot of information. Why don't you guys try the next one? Okay. So we buy a car wash at the gas station for $6. And then the cost per gallon is $2.35. So cost per gallon, that's my slope. So my slope is 2.35. My y-intercept, the one-time thing, was the 6. So equation y equals 2.35x plus 6. All right, we have $40. So what variable does that go in for? X or Y? So Y is 40. So if we subtract the 6, we have 34 equals 2.35x. If we divide, it doesn't work out perfectly. So x turns out to be 14, let's go 2 decimals, 14.47. And what does x represent? Gallons. So you could buy 14.47 gallons. What'd you round to? 14.5 gallons. Other questions? Okay, this is where I want to stop today. So, listen carefully. I am giving you a handout, but you are only doing the front today. So that's 1 through 5 is all you are doing today.